Hello, and welcome back to Funnelheads. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be going over 6 things that I think you should splurge on for your next Carnival Cruise. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know when's the last time I've used that word splurge, but it's alright, we're going to just go with it. 6 things that I think you should definitely spend some money on. Recently, I did do a video of 6 things not to overspend on, or not to spend anything on, period. If you missed out on that video, we'll put the link in the description box. But I'm excited to get into this. I'm also excited because we are now 11 days away from our next cruise on the Carnival Elation. I'm looking forward to getting on the ship, of course, but also I'm looking forward to escaping the South Carolina pollen season for a little bit, because pollen has already been in the air down here, which is absolutely insane. It's still, the end of February as I'm recording this video. But enough about that. If you're new to the channel or returning, you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. If you like cruise informational videos, cruise vlogs, news, all that good stuff, liking the video, sharing with family and friends, we appreciate it. Let's get right into today's video. Now, starting off in no particular order, we have number 1, and that's going to be bottled water. Now, of course, if you have the drink packages that you can purchase from Carnival either before your cruise or during your cruise, your bottled water will be included. But there are a lot of cruises that we tend not to get any drink packages. A lot of factors go into this, length of cruise, itinerary, excursions. Of course, we have a young one as well. We have done videos on all the drink packages through Carnival, as well as our personal thoughts if it's worth it. So if you want to check that out, I will put the video in the description box for you to check that out after this. Now, we will typically pre-purchase bottled water before our cruise, and really the only advantage that we know of doing this is that it's delivered to your stateroom even before, your cruise starts. As soon as you get into the cabin, typically the bottled water is there. Now, you do have different options and sizes for the bottled water, and I will tell you what we do in a second. Your first option is just to buy individual large bottles of water, around 51 ounces for $4.50 each. Then you can buy an 8-pack of those same, size bottled waters. That runs about $25. And then the third option are smaller bottles of water. Those come in a 12-pack at 17 ounces for $9.95. Now, typically what we'll do as a family of 3 is we'll get the large bottles of water in the 8-pack for $25, and then we'll go ahead and redeem our 3 large bottles of water at the bar from, our loyalty status. So we'll have at least 11 large bottles of water, and this is usually what we do for like a 6, 7, or 8 night cruise. You can always, of course, buy them individually, again, at the bar, or they have them in the stateroom, warm, ready to go. I think there is a little bit of a price increase if you do drink the one that's actually in your cabin, however. Now, moving on to number 2, we highly recommend that you splurge, there's that word again, sorry, on the specialty restaurants. The specialty dining across the fleet is overall very, very good. It depends, of course, what class ship you're going on. You might find some restaurants on the XL class ships, like the Mardi Gras, the Celebration, and Jubilee, that you won't find on some of the older ships. But 2 of our favorite right off the bat that you will find on most Carnival ships are going to be the Steakhouse, whether it's Fahrenheit 555 or name something else. The steakhouse, in our opinion, is phenomenal. It is well worth it. The prices have rose here recently. I believe it's around $50 per person at this point, but you get some of the best steaks, options of seafood, appetizers, desserts, and it's more of like an intimate experience if you want it to be. So for me and Michelle, one of the nights on the cruise, typically we'll do either the steakhouse or bonsai sushi, which is another one of our favorites. favorites. And on that night, Rhett will usually eat like pizza or deli beforehand, or sometimes he'll eat with camp. He loves eating with his friends anyway, and we can enjoy, you know, one night out, kind of have the night to ourselves and really just enjoy conversation, relax, and have an amazing meal. Now again, it is a little bit pricey, but out of the two, Bonsai Sushi is going to be the less expensive one. Now this is kind of like a la carte, so you basically pick what you want and then the price adds up. For me and Michelle, we have never spent really more than $40 at Bonsai Sushi. I'm sure you could, but we've gotten, you know, the boat for two before, we've gotten drinks, all that good stuff. So I would say under $60 is definitely in the realm of that. Whereas the steakhouse, you're going to spend at least $100, maybe $140, $160, including, you know, gratuity and all that good stuff. Either way, you're not going to go wrong with specialty dining. Now, don't just take my recommendations. Cucina del Capitano is very good, as well as the Seafood Shack. And really, I've not had a bad meal at any of these specialty restaurants. We just prefer Bonsai Sushi and the steakhouse. Now, number 3 is going to be the cabin itself. You know, look at pros and cons, but ultimately book a cabin that you're going to be able to relax in. You know, for us, we always are looking at great deals when it comes to cabins, but at the end of the day, you want a cabin that you're going to, again, be able to relax in and have a good time, whether it be interior, ocean view, balcony, suite, or so many more. We've done pros and cons on a lot of the different cabins, so if you want to check that out, I can absolutely provide you links for that. Now, some of our favorite cabins off the top of my head are going to be the Cove balcony, because this is basically the lowest balcony on the ship, closest to water. So if you want a little bit more privacy, a little bit quieter area, this may be the balcony for you. Also, of course, you know, because you're so much closer to the ocean, you just get that really relaxing feeling. Following the Cove balcony, we have the aft extended balcony. This is the room that we look for first and foremost. We love having the little bit of extra space that the aft extended balcony lets you have, because you can actually fit a lounger in there, a chair, and then a little table, so you can relax out on there. Also, the views are breathtaking. You'll also get the comforting noise that we love. A lot of times we'll crack, you know, the door open just so that way we can listen to it, of, you know, the wake hitting the side of the ship, the propellers going. It's a fantastic room. I highly suggest you take a look at them. And the last cabin I'm going to recommend is actually one that we've never stayed in. It's going to be the Havana cabins on the Vista class ships, so the Vista, Horizon, and Panorama. Of course, you have to be 12 years or older to stay in them, and we've always traveled with Little Man. But I've heard from everyone, you know, past guests, other content creators, that the Havana cabins are the place to go if you can get them at the right price. Of course, you get your own pool, your own bar, comfy loungers, hot tubs, the full 9. You're not fighting people on, you know, loungers all day long like you do sometimes on the Lido deck. Now, number 4 is to spend some money on excursions or activities at the destinations that you're visiting. You never know when you're going to get back to these beautiful places, and the last thing that you want to do, we've heard it so many times before, you know, we'll be, you know, in the atrium area asking, you know, guests what they did, and you could see the disappointment in their face because unfortunately they had nothing planned or thought, you know, there's going to be other things to do as soon as you get off the ship. And a lot of times there really isn't. There is sometimes, but there is definitely times where there's not a lot to do, and you really have to, you know, do an excursion, plan an activity. Not only that, I would say have a backup, because, you know, excursions get canceled all the time, some because of weather, some because, you know, there's not enough people that are wanting to do that particular excursion. Whatever the reason is, have a backup. You're never going to be disappointed having a backup. Now, I would normally recommend you getting the excursions or activities through the cruise line. However, we've done it plenty of times where we've done our research beforehand. We picked a company that we felt comfortable with. We looked at reviews. We gave ourselves ample of time to get back on the ship, in case an emergency happens. Nowadays, though, with Little Man, we have been doing 99%, Carnival or whatever cruise line we're going with, excursions, just so that way we know for certain we're going to be able to get back on the ship. But I'm all about saving money, so again, if you do your research and you feel comfortable, you have that plan in place, go ahead and do a third-party excursion. But some of our best memories on cruises are the excursions that we've done at different destinations, so definitely don't miss out. Again, you never know if you're going to have a chance to get back to these places, and the last thing you want to do is have regret. Moving on to number 5, and that is going to be spend a little bit of money at Alchemy. Now, if you are a drinker or not a drinker, it does not matter. They have alcoholic beverages, which of course we prefer, but they also have a great non-alcoholic beverage selection that Carnival implemented about a year ago or so. So if alcohol's not your thing, or maybe you're a mom-to-be, definitely, go to Alchemy. Just the process of them, making the drinks, communicating with you, with the other master mixologists. It's just a thing of beauty. The drinks are wonderful. Now, they do take a little bit of time, and they are a little bit pricey. On average, a drink at Alchemy for an alcoholic drink would be around $13 plus gratuity. Now, if you do happen to have the Cheers package, the Alchemy drinks are included, so that is a bonus, which we think is a huge deal because you're getting, high top shelf alcohol in your drinks. You're getting that, show. Typically these drinks take 5 to 7 minutes to create. They're using some of the freshest ingredients, and again, it's just a wonderful experience. Not only that, a lot of Alchemy areas have, entertainment while you're waiting for your drink, and then just talking to all the other guests, in the same setting is just wonderful. And last but not least, and this is kind of cheating a little bit because I guess you could put it under excursions. However, I'm going to create this one separately, and that is the Behind the Fun excursion. Now, you are able to book this before your cruise now, which is a really big deal. Prior to them changing this, you actually had to wait until you were on the ship, go to the shore excursion desk and book it. The availability is very limited, so make sure if you want to do it, go ahead and book it before your cruise because it will fill up. Now, if you don't know what Behind the Fun is, that's okay. We'll explain it to you real quick. I did do a full video detailing this tour though, so if you want all the details, I'll put that in the description box as well. But basically, this is you as a guest going behind the curtain of Carnival Cruise Line. Now, the prices are going to range depending on itinerary and ship, but usually they range from about $50 per person, typically for a kid, up to $150 per person. But you do get quite a bit in this. You get some great souvenirs, some pictures. You get to visit areas like the laundromat, the galley, as well as the bridge. Also crew quarters, crew bar, all of that good stuff. It is well worth it. It's a couple hours long. We've only actually done this tour once before. I believe it was on the Carnival Sunrise off the top of my head, but we are planning to do this again very soon. I believe you have to be 8 years or older to do this tour, so we are going to be waiting to do it again until Rhett is that age, one more year. But yeah, it is well worth it. Like I said, just the souvenirs and stuff alone will make up, a lot of the money that it costs, but it's a wonderful experience. You'll also get to meet a lot of the crew, chief officers. We actually were able to meet the captain on our tour. However, I don't know if that's, a normal thing. I think it just depends on his availability, kind of what's going on at the time of the tour. But yeah, just well worth it. One of the best excursions that we've ever done. done, so highly recommend. Now that's it. That's the 6 things that I recommend you splurging on your next Carnival Cruise. That is a terrible word. I'm gonna have to just retire that word altogether. But it did for the video well, so we'll leave it at that. Let me know in the comment section below, what is one thing off of this list that you're looking at doing on your next cruise? What's something that you like to spend some money on your Carnival Cruise as well? Would love to read all of them. Now, as always, thank you so much for your continued support. Hit like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel for more cruise content. Hopefully we'll see you right back here in the next video or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.
I woke up with the sun today, rolled out of bed and said, I'm gonna have some fun today, and that's just what I did. The birds were singing, come outside, I felt giddy like a kid. If life is like a swimming pool, you know I'm jumping in. We got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise on high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. I woke up feeling good today, my journey has begun. I gotta give a shout out to the green grass and the sun. It's a long way off, a tricky shot, but I know it can be done. Another day, another game, another hole in one. Yeah, we got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise on high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. Lift them up, all the hands, all at once, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. And keep them there, all the hands in the air, we're wishing it could last forever, baby, put your hands together. The weather's just so fine, wish I could bottle time. Cause if you only pause, you'll hear the crowd applaud. They're cheering for you now, stand up and take a bow. You know that you deserve it, today is picture perfect. Raise on high,